whoever owns this house probably doesn't need to watch this video. But if you're someone who is wanting to have a rich retirement with income and money to do what it is that you want to do come your retirement years, I am Trevor Russell and I work in the finance industry, and one of the things that I've learnt over the years is knowledge is one thing, application is another thing. And I'll be really transparent and tell you that a lot of what I share and very committed to helping hardworking Australians to learn how to build a retirement that gives them the money that they want, but also to have a really good understanding of how to better manage money and to live, as I say, in profit on the journey to retirement. Because even with retirement, I have a philosophy around retirement, if you'd like to know, which is how to do retirement and how not to do retirement. And that's probably for another video. But if you're checking in and you're on my channel, thank you for being here or checking out what I'm sharing. I see people who have a lot of money, but they're broke. And I see a lot of people who have not so much money. In other words, they're not making huge incomes, but they actually are very wealthy. And what it's shown me is that there's a couple of things that people do that has nothing to do with how much money they make that makes them wealthy. It's what they do with that money and how they think and who they are as people that helps them not only live a far happier and more wealthier and healthier, prosperous life now, happier life now, but they're also in a much stronger position in their retirement years or on their way to their retirement years. So I'll cut to it. If you want to know a few things that are going to really help you get on a better path to not only retiring wealthy, but also getting control of where you're at right now financially and emotionally, these are the three things that I would have you consider. The first thing is the willingness to start telling yourself some new stories and to stop telling yourself some stories. I'll start with the stories to stop. The stories to stop are, I don't have time, it's too late, I don't make enough money, I'm in too much debt, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, I'm too stressed, I don't have time to do this. When the kids go to college, when the gate gets fixed, when I get the promotion, or when that day comes where I actually have motivation, is when I'll start to improve things. If you are struggling and you are in a financial hole and you worry about money all the time and being in debt and how you're going to make it this month and you have no savings, or you just want better, I know for myself, these stories that run in our brain, they are actually just that. They're just stories. They are not true and real. And we can change the story. We can change the narrative. And the stories that we can benefit from is to start telling ourselves that this is the right time. We can do it. We can find a way. If it's important enough to us, we will find the way. We will find the time. We will stop doing certain things that waste time, which is very often because of fear and procrastination, because our brain hates learning new things. It's always trying to protect us, and it's always trying to conserve energy. So the next thing is to make a decision and start believing that we can improve our situation. That no matter where we are, whether we have messed up, we have made silly financial decisions, because let me tell you, I have. A big part of the reason why I created this YouTube channel called Retire Rich is because where I'm at financially is quite a way away from where I want to be come retirement years. Now, I'm not planning to put my feet up and do nothing in retirement. I may never retire, but to just have that ability to know that you've got money coming in, that you've got financial freedom, and you can decide how you want to use your time, whether it's now or in the future. Anyway, so you get my meaning. How we do retirement, we may never retire, but to know that we're in that position to maybe slow down a little bit, choose where we want to spend more time and where we want to choose less time. But coming back to the mindset, it is, what are the stories that we're telling ourselves? What do we need to stop telling ourselves? Let go of those stories, and what can we start telling ourselves, and start sitting down with our loved one and our family and start saying, hey, you know what can we do? What can we do to get a better plan together? What can we do to improve our situation, to stop wasting money on stuff that means nothing to no one, and to start realizing, if we're concerned about what other people think and where we're putting our money to keep up with other people, because everyone's driving big SUVs and we need to have all these car loans, and we're wasting money that we could be investing because everyone else is. No one cares. No one's going to show up at retirement, let me tell you, that you're worried about, and they're going to take care of you or me, because no one's thinking about us. And you know what I'm saying, guys. You know what I'm saying. We need to really start coming back to ourselves and what it is that we want, and how we can think to motivate ourselves and to learn new skills and to do new things and to take charge of our money. Which leads me to the next point, is taking charge of our money. And that is, if you don't already have a budget, and I know it's a dirty word for a lot of people, but one of the things that has gotten me through the good times and through the very, very challenging times, and I'm in a very challenging time at the moment. I'm building a new business. I'm developing new things that I'm learning to do to be a better service to people. My cash flow is not at a point that I want it to be, and I am using capital at the moment to fund myself. And this is for me personally, this is a very stressful thing to go through, but I've got a vision, I've got a goal, but I do know where I'm at in my budget. It's one of the things that I can put and pat myself on the shoulder is, I learned a long time ago to plan out what's coming in, plan what's going to go out, what am I putting away for longer term expenses, so I'm not just getting hit with a surprise car bill that is the registration or the insurance. I was doing well, and I and my partner, we know where we're at financially. I'm not saying this to show off, but I can tell you in a few minutes how much is in, how much is out, because this is the thing I know about people that are good with money. Well, most, not all, but most, if you ask them, they'll know where they're at financially. They know that their cash flow is the key to their freedom. And if we can understand, and this is the thing that makes the difference to people who don't necessarily make a lot of money but are very financially secure and financially free, is because they know how much is coming in, and what they do is they make sure. I know a lady who does this. She's not got a big income, but what she's done very well is budget her money, putting money away to invest, building that investment up, putting money away for the bills. They don't live lavishly, they've got kids, but they're very, very careful with their money. And she has accumulated multiple investment properties over the years and is now worth many millions of dollars, because she has been very careful with that life source, which is her money, and managing it well. And it's like knowing the score of the game. And if this resonates with you and you're thinking to yourself, I want to make a difference, I want to retire rich, I want to be in control of my money, and I want to manage my money, I don't want it to manage me and my mindset, and to start getting on that better path. You don't have to do this all in one day, but start taking the steps. Start taking the steps to think about, am I listening to the radio or music as I'm driving to the office, when I could be listening to information about learning to understand how to think more productively, and start learning about how I can budget and take control of my money and watch videos like this, and what can I do with my time to start taking charge of the things that I can take charge of to improve me and my family's financial situation, our financial flow. And that needs me, so utilizing our time, right? It's kind of meshed in there. But so the first thing is mindset, and thinking about what are the stories that I can start telling myself, and stop procrastinating. Look at, what do they say? If you've got to eat a frog, like do something that's really yucky, do it quick and fast and get it done. Start looking at that, that fear in the face, and actually say, we have got to improve, we've got to take charge of things, and we're going to figure it out. We're going to get a budget, we're going to look at our income, we're going to look at our expenses, and we can do it. We can do it. So thinking that we can do it, and then doing it, and start getting that little system in place, and start knowing that money and what's coming and what's coming out. And the final thing is, that is really, really simple, but I think so important. Again, a lot of people don't do it, that are struggling, but the ones that do it, it makes all the difference, is that they accept and embrace that money is just energy. It's just a tool that we receive, and it's not a dirty thing. And it's something that is our life force. And I guess the challenge a lot of us have faced with how we've been raised around money, and we don't talk about money, and I don't like people to know my finances. And I say this to my clients, I don't care how much you make, how little you make, how much debt you've got, how little debt. It's just numbers. All we want to do is learn how we can improve the numbers, how we can get a better flow going, how we can reduce expenses, what we can do to help you buy the investment property, how to get ahead. They're just numbers to me. The most beautiful thing is when people reach out, they want help with their plan, they want help to get the right loan, they want help with buying the right property, that they are willing to look at it, and they're willing to just say, we want better. They're just numbers. No one cares. And so I think it's really just that willingness to be really, really open to talking about the money with each other, and looking at the plan and what it is that we're doing, and what can we do to tweak and adjust and get a little bit better. It's a bit like the professional athletes and the Olympians, they just want little incremental improvement. So wherever you start, you might be a brand newbie, or you're kind of doing okay, but what can we do to get to that next level, so we can take charge of our money, so we can feel more confident about what we're doing. And I'll leave you with this final note. And please, if you like this video, thank you. My name's Trevor Russell. I have a company called the Results Investment Group. We help people to understand how to use a self-managed super fund, if that's right for them, how to borrow money, how to set it up, how to buy the right investments. We also do all types of investment loans here in Australia, and we have good open conversations. We talk about what it is that people want, what they can do to get in charge of their money, to take to give them the information and the knowledge to learn these skills that we're just not taught at school. We're just not given this education. You'll spend how many years at school learning about geography and history, which is wonderful, and science, which is great, but unless you're going to be a scientist, what are you going to do with this information? So this is what we're very passionate about, helping people with, me and my team. And so please, if you like the video, like it helps me share the message, and subscribe please. I am doing a lot of videos on understanding these topics and what we can do to improve our financial situation. But as I close off, I would like to say this, that you can do this, that wherever you're at, please, whatever age, there's always a way to improve. There's always a way to make things better. But as I was saying, one of the things that even on the way to retirement, whether that's important to you or whatever is important to you, when you know where your money's at, when you know how much is coming in, and when you know how much is going out, and you are putting money away for longer term bills and investing, and you are building up your savings, and you have more coming in than going out, and you are making that profit. And it can take time sometimes to get there, because let's face it, we love to spend money, us people in the West. We love to go to shopping centers, we love to buy the stuff, and we love to get that money out. And we've got kids to take care of, and we've got cars to pay for. But if we can get really serious about this, like I had a friend who was paying for this car, and I said to her, if you want to get ahead looking at her budget, sell the car, buy a little Mazda and own it, 6 grand, and start saving money and start investing in property. And you know what? She said, oh, but what do people think? I said, no one cares what you are driving. Do you want to wake up in 5 years with a couple of million in property, or do you want to drive this car that's going down in value? And she did it. So I'm not saying these things are easy to do, but it's just emotions and feelings. No one cares. Do you want to take your money? You know, I'll tell you something. The reason I can do what I'm doing at the moment, building a new company, is, and I'm not saying this to show off, but when I was working in my job, I was saving money, and I put money away in the event that I had to leave or something would happen. And I'm not saying I've got years of money sitting there, but I've got enough to buffer me while I get a new flow going. And I'm going to say to you, that is a very freeing thing to be able to do. Not easy to do, but you can do it. We can do it. So please, I will stop going around and around the mindset. Stop thinking certain thoughts that are letting you down. You do deserve to be wealthy. You do deserve to succeed. You can do it. You are smart enough. You've got this far. You've done all that you can do. It might just mean time to get disciplined, more disciplined with what you're thinking, what you're doing, getting your money, getting on top of your money. And if you want help with the budget and how to do those numbers, and just start and look at it. Interesting. How much are we spending? What's coming in? What's going out? What can we spend less on? What can we do to make a bit more and chip away? I can send you some spreadsheets. Just email me. I'll put my contact details below. And being open to talking about money and starting to own it and accept that it's part of our life. And the more we know about how we're managing it and what's coming in, and start putting money away, we are off and away in a better direction, into a good direction. I'll leave it there for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for letting me jump all around the place. I just wanted to share this video. No preparation, just thought, it just popped into my mind. I was chatting to someone yesterday about this, and I hope you found value in this video. I genuinely care for people. I want people to have open, unbiased information to help us all move forward, to get the education and support that we all need, that so often we don't get. And I assure you it is possible. It's not as hard as you think. Sometimes a few things need to change. Sometimes we need to wake up to looking at what we're doing, what we need to do to get better. It can be uncomfortable, but if we want it bad enough, it's possible for us, for you, for anyone. So please have a think about this. Maybe spend some time today or this week, instead of where you may be wasting some time, Find that time to have a think about what do we need to start telling ourselves, what do we need to start doing to get on top of the money flow, and what do we need to do to start talking about our money more so we can really take charge of this and start getting things moving in a better direction. Sending love, sending strength, sending courage. I will speak to you soon. Please leave a comment. Ask me questions. What's going on for you? What have you done? What would you like to do? I really appreciate it, and I'll be back to you with more videos real soon. Have a beautiful day.